Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ben Lampard. I'm currently the interim CEO and Director of Operations. It's a couple of days now until Toby Wicks, the new CEO, comes to join us. And so I thought it would be useful to give a quick video and a bit of a status report of where we're at as an organisation. From a headquarters perspective, physically, we've now moved into the top floor of Chilmark, and thanks to the incredible work of Laura Perry and her team of decorators, painters and cleaners, we've managed to extract ourselves from the fairly unpleasant dilapidation report that was served on us by the landlord. And thanks to the work of that team, we've saved ourselves just over £100,000 from that report that was served on us. If you equate that into terms of operations, that means that we haven't had to spend money on what could go towards one large scale and one small scale international operation. So we're now on the top floor here at Chilmark for another year. And we've also entered into an agreement with the charity Serve-On, that some of you will know, that have now taken over the hangar. So we still have access to that training and mobilisation facility. Operationally as a headquarters, as part of the development committee work, we've now come together as one entity. So from an operational perspective, both charitable and commercial operations now come under my remit. And the support functions of finance, HR, tech and innovation and communications now cover across both React and Resilient. Financially, our bank account is looking good, and that's great for me to be able to say, since I've been here, we've not been in a great position financially, but I can report now that thanks to the work of both the charitable operations from React, where we were receiving donations from local authorities and from the NHS trusts, and from the great work of Resilient, our bank account is now in a good position to see us forward over the next couple of years. Training-wise, we've re-kick-started training, and a big thank you to Nick Chalice, one of our responders, who stepped in very last minute to help with the coordination of that training. And those of you that have been on as instructors, mentors, or even students on those courses, you will have hopefully seen a real uplift in the professionalism and the style of delivery of that training. So a big thank you to Nick Chalice and everyone else that has helped with those. We've now delivered 2 domestic responders courses. And by Sunday, we will have achieved 2 international responder courses. We will have just under 60 new domestic responders and just under 50 new international responders joining the team, which is fantastic. On the operations front, if I can split it down into domestic and international, domestically, you'll remember from my last video, I was very keen that we now cemented our position in UK resilience. And I'm confident that we are getting there. We have had a number of volunteers supporting critical care units up in Nottingham for over 55 days, supporting up there. And you'll be aware of the Afghan crisis, where we've had over 100 responders and volunteers operating throughout London, Luton, Oxford and up into Leeds, supporting those Afghan families in the quarantine and bridging hotels. And a big thank you to everyone that was involved in that. I think the final statistics are we've distributed over 60 tonnes of aid to those individuals. And to mark out a couple of people in that, a big thank you to Molly for running the effort and our response in London, and to Farouk, who was overseeing the operation up in the hotel in Leeds. That side of the operation is very much now beginning to tail off as the Afghan families start to move from the bridging accommodation into their final place of relocation. And the last part of the jigsaw we're supporting there is we've got a strategic logistics specialist positioned within the Voluntary and Community Emergency Partnership helping to coordinate the warehousing and distribution of all of the aid that has been collected for those Afghan families around the country. Going forward, we're now working very closely with the Emergency Partnership and a number of local resilience forums to trial a pilot of a rapid response team where we feel we can make a real difference within that UK resilience space, and more to follow on that. From an international perspective, we've now done a full recock of all of our equipment and an uplift of both life support and communication and technological equipment to ensure we're fit for purpose for our new mission. And so by the end of this international ops course, we will now be at what I'm calling fully operational capability to respond to an international disaster around the world. Of course, we're still in hurricane season. That, in theory, comes to an end at the end of November. But as we know from 2018, that hurricane season can transition right through to the Christmas period, and wildfires and earthquakes can continue to happen. So we are recocked and ready to go from the end of this course. So hopefully that sets the scene of where we are now at. And I think it's a great time now for a new CEO to come in and pick up the baton and take the organisation on to its next step. The final thing from me is just a big thank you to all of you for the support, both from the headquarter team and from all of you volunteers and responders that you've given me during this quite intense period as we came out of Oct and went into this rebuild phase to get the charity recocked and ready for operations. And so a massive thank you to all of you for the support you've given me, and the baton is now ready for Toby to pick up.